The following program was paid for by Southern American Media.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with our special co-host this morning, Debbie.
I like the way you labeled it on Facebook. Debbie is special.
Well, you know, I was typing it out, you were making fun of me of the way because if you say something, I'll type what you say. You don't know when somebody's talking to you.
But the thing about it is I'm typically your editor.
Right.
I edit all of your. People don't know that, but I typically go in and redo a lot of your
she
stuff.
Does.
And I didn't get a chance this morning because I'm here with you.
Right.
So, but yeah.
I am the
special co-host this morning. Thank you.
We'll get the word in there in a little bit. But seriously, I'm one of those, if you talk to me while I'm typing something, I will type whatever that word is that you said and then never notice it and keep right on going.
Oh, I know. Hey,
what?
I just have to tell you, this morning I woke up about 3 and I started watching this on Facebook about the Walmart shooting. How horrendous is that? It seems it was a manager came back in and started just killing everybody.
The break room is where it all took place, is what we understand. It was in Virginia. They're, a place where they all eat and take their little 15-minute break or whatever they get. 6 employees were killed. Numerous others are injured. Now, what we don't know at this point, Debbie, is if he was killed by police or if he took his own life.
Right.
It almost indicates that he took his own life, but we don't know that for sure. But how horrible, right here at Thanksgiving, that what could be going on in somebody's world that they would want to harm others?
I don't know. I don't know. But from what I saw last night or this morning, about 10 o'clock last night is when he came in and started doing it.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people hid in the restrooms and things, and they were trying to escape as it was going on. And they said no less than 40 different agencies came in there, police, law enforcement. And so we still don't even know the amount injured.
No, we don't. And a lot of people are claiming I had just walked out of there before it happened. Yeah. And, what are the odds of you making it out of something like that? That has to give you, is the word heebie-jeebies I'm looking for?
I just don't understand, what snaps in a person's brain to do that? What happens?
I'm shocked.
At that moment, they think this is what I've got to do. Bad things happen.
Right.
Things happen to us all the time. But you just wonder if it was always in him. Was he evil? Did his brain just completely snap?
And that's a good point there.
Yeah.
Chesapeake, Virginia. Yeah. As we go to Daily Mail, they've got pictures from last night as we pull this up. This is the scene last night there at the Walmart. Tons of people. They're police officers. You mentioned 40 different agencies?
40. Well, they said so somebody had just left there, and she sent a message to the girl that was reporting that I was watching. And she said that she had just left there, stopped at a different store right down from the Walmart. And when she came out of that store, she saw the first police officer come by, and she stood there and saw up to 40 come by.
Now, a lot of the employees went live on Facebook to talk about what was going on. And if you're wondering where this is, as you look at the map here, again, back to Daily Mail, this is going to be just due south of Norfolk, Virginia, where that went on last night.
That's where Mike was born, in Norfolk.
Really?
Mm-hmm. His dad was military.
That's
on the base.
Well, small world, isn't it?
No.
But tragedy in America right at the holidays. And I urge you, if you're traveling out of town, whatever, watch people. It almost brings out the worst in some.
Well, it just seems, I hate to say that, same old, but it just seems like crime is really on the rise. It always is around this time of year.
It is.
It seems like it might be a little bit worse right now, or it might just be our area that we're hearing so many different burglaries and robberies and things like that.
Now that you bring that up, Debbie was out on an investigation for me early this morning before daylight. As we turn to this story, yet someone else has had their store broken into. How does Marion survive this? We're somewhere clicking close to 20 at this point, businesses that have been struck. And here we go. Let's go to College Park. This time, now, if you own a business anywhere in the College Park area, I urge you to go check on it. This time, they would strike T-Mobile as we look at this.
So on that, I just went and snapped that picture, and I am going to end up getting arrested because I'm at every crime scene. But, the window's broken out, and They took out the entire window and went in and I guess stole cell phones or whatever accessories, whatever. But
and
they
it
were working
matches
out.
what I'm hearing now. It matches the MO of everything that's happening in town. This time it was down. There's up to 4, but the 2 males again were the 2 culprits that went in here. Most likely the same 2 that entered San Marcos, over at Burger King, Dairy Queen, and the list goes on. The one that we've had the most on would be the 4 that struck over at Hair Queen. Now, there's also up to 4 that travel in the Newport 100 Power Bandits that take out the power first.
Yeah.
4 in that group.
And I mean, I feel like these are the same people.
Yeah.
I think they've got to be a band of people that are doing this.
I would go further and say it's affiliated with a gang in some point. As you look at the tobacco store that was hit, we've had 2 to 3 that have been hit. The latest lost $18,000 worth in inventory. Now, it makes kind of sense here to where you go sell this stuff, and it's part of.
There's one thing I cannot stand is
What's
a
that?
thief. I cannot stand somebody that takes somebody else's property that they've either worked for, earned in some way,
Right.
and to just take it without any thought. My brother and his wife, they don't live here. They live in Tennessee.
Right.
But they were burglarized a couple of days ago. Window was broken out in their bedroom. Somebody came in and stole their belongings.
And that's bad because you can't replace this
Well,
stuff.
no, and he says he feels so violated just in his own home. So that shouldn't. Oh, we have a guest.
Yeah.
Speaking of law enforcement,
Yeah, we got some law up in the building.
do you have a
It's
warrant?
Gotta be.
Scotty Ray must have a warrant. Do you?
He'll be joining us here in a few moments to talk about what went on, like this example. Now, I do have other reports. I don't have confirmation that we had an issue last night. Let me look at this is my Karl Rove black whiteboard that you carry around with you. I got notes here that says it was possibility, some mischief that took place on 43rd Avenue last night, possibly a small church that may have gotten some damage or broken into. I hadn't gotten confirmation on that. I also got a note that said that on 10th Court, maybe a possible vehicle stolen last night. Now, nothing is safe at this point. Your cars, your business, check everything. And so if you've got businesses, again, out in College Park, check them. I had reports of 5 or 6 more alarms, but no confirmations that anything was stolen anywhere else.
Well, I read a little thing yesterday, and everybody should kind of just try to abide by this, but it said if you're in a parking lot and you see a woman and her children by themselves, keep an eye. Even they may never know it, but keep an eye on them as they walk in and walk out. Everybody just kind of keep an eye on each person as they're out shopping. And
I was afraid you were going to say she was looking for a husband. I was
No.
going to say, run, fellas, run.
or if you have a good match for her. No, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
like,
do.
just kind of keep an eye because you never know. Or an elderly person that's having a hard time getting in, just keep an eye. They don't have to know that you're watching.
Now that you bring that up of somebody elderly, it takes them a little bit longer to put their groceries in their car,
Right.
and thieves target things like that of a run by, grab a purse and run. We
They'd
know
have to
that.
take my entire body.
I'd
Because I
just-
strap my purse on my shoulder across. I have it I suspect everybody is trying to get into my purse.
Yeah.
If you walk by me, I think
Even
Scotty
Mike.
Ray's going to try. Yeah, even Mike. Get out of my purse. Stay away from me.
We did have an all too familiar place last night. Mentions of gunshots once again. This would be just north of Anderson's Hospital as we go back to take a look at our map here. This is a pretty common thing here. Let's zoom in on this. Right in the 1700 block of 23rd Avenue. This would be just south of the Dollar General in this
yeah.
general area just north of Anderson. There's medical towers and all right in that area.
That seems to be a real hot spot lately.
It does.
That area by Dollar General, behind it. I guess if you're going north,
Right.
it would be
On your right-hand
On your
side. of the road.
right-hand side.
Same area that poor gentleman was walking down the road, and that woman got all mad and took a car and jumped across the yards and chased him with a car, ran through a couple fences, hit a car, and he outran her.
When did that happen?
A few months back. You don't remember that? I mean, he was hoofing it.
No.
And everybody that described the scene she jumped the curb. He went in a yard. She went after him with her car. She hit another car, took out a fence, jumped back on the road, and he was still running. And he managed.
She was mad.
She was. We don't know why. And I think she went toward his town is the last place.
Towards Marion?
Toward Marion was the last I'd heard. Bumper was dragging the ground. She just kept right on going. He made it, though.
It reminds me of that woman. Remember 100 years ago, that woman, her name was Clara?
What'd Clara
that she
do?
caught her husband at a hotel.
Oh, and back over him?
No, she didn't back over him. She did donuts on him. And they said he was, like...
Not a lot left.
Exactly.
Yeah, a good politically way to put that.
So we used that phrase for years, my friends and I. Don't make me turn Claire on.
As we look across, we had several interesting things that happened yesterday. And let me show you this. This is the 43rd, as I mentioned a moment ago. Right in this area right here is where I mentioned that possibly some more mischief may have happened. Here's Highway 19 going toward College Park. It would be in this area right here over by Valley View Apartments. Possibly something happened. I don't have confirmation on that, though. We want you to know about it, though. Now, let's go to a few other things that went on yesterday. Let's talk about the log truck that caught on fire. I-20 is where it all went down.
Lots of fires lately.
Yeah, if you were out that way at mile marker 168 is where this went on. Burn up. That happens occasionally. Things get up under a vehicle. But one of the most notable things your husband's a fisherman.
Yeah, this is it's kind of scary because I know the lakes are low.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't have a depth finder or whatever to be able to determine. Yeah, so you get out there, you think it's the same depth as it was the last time you were out. These guys got stuck, right?
Yeah, the boat was hung 200 yards out in the middle of Oak Tippy. Couldn't go anywhere. So fortunately, we do have cell phones. Think about that, not having a cell phone and just kind of stuck there and waiting for somebody to come by. But he did have a cell phone. Bailey Volunteer Fire Department responded, and the Lauderdale County Emergency Management, and they nearly got grounded on the Sea-Doo trying to get to him. They were out there. You know how everybody has to rock? They were doing that and barely took back off.
So
and I had to admit I wouldn't use their video of them rocking on it because it was funny, but they didn't want me to show that.
They didn't want that. They didn't want to show that technique and get it out there. So do we know how low the lake is?
It was 5 feet below what it is normally
wow.
in that area, is the last I was told. Y'all stay close. We got a lot more to talk about here in just a moment. Scotty Ray and Debbie, as we welcome you back. So good to see you again.
Good to see you.
We'll be right back.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop. Themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, and more. Gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Homes will be merry and bright with a custom wreath or centerpiece. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers, and it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Charm and beauty await your home. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
On this field, as on the gridiron, each inch is fought for and marked by sweat. Each inch taken through disciplined training. With a Kubota L2501 tackling each inch in the trenches, whether those inches are measured here or here, all adding up to yards. For each yard, Kubota measures victory, and the touchdown is Parrish Tractor. Here, we're much more than a tractor store.
If you've got an outdoorsman on your Christmas list, make sure to drop into Garrett's. Quality pocket knives with the latest fishing gear of rod and reels. Maybe it's a new set of binoculars or a new scope. With one of the largest selection of firearms, you're sure to find the one you need. Protect your investment with a Browning fireproof safe. With a large selection of deer condos, including the new style, the hay bale. Come by for a quick look. It's all at Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, your Christmas headquarters. And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Debbie. Candace is off on vacation today. And I want to do a reminder, if I can find this real quick. Next week, Fox 30 is making they have a special programming event that is going to happen during our time slot. When we come on, there's a big soccer thing going on worldwide. And so we're going to be preempted next week due to the soccer game. So let me do this.
That's just on Fox, though.
Yeah.
Not your Facebook, not your all the other media outlets.
Yeah, you'll still be able to watch us here online like we normally do. What I want you to do, I'm going to pull this back up in a minute, but get your cell phone if you've got a smartphone so you'll be able to, this will make it easier. I'm going to show this again in a little bit, but if you'll see this area right here, all you have to do is hold your camera over this spot and it will link you to our YouTube page. And that way you don't have to type in, try to figure out how to, it's just simple. So I'll show this again in a minute to where you can hover your phone over it and it will take you directly to the YouTube page and easier to watch.
Do you know what that's called?
There's a name for it.
I'll give you $10 right now if you can guess.
Oh, I know this.
You know it.
I do know this because I had to have that made, and it's the little
Starts with a Q.
QR code.
There you go. I just want to say this real quick before we
Spit
go
it
any
out.
further.
What is it?
So, Scotty Ray's got this big old candy dish.
Well, that's why I've put on so much weight.
The number, I don't even want to talk about weight. Oh, they fell out.
Did you
Look
drop
at
my
what he
circus?
has.
Those are
But
so good.
can I just do this real quick?
What? Are they hard? Oh, they're no
Scotty
good
Ray.
now. Well, they were good last
Is this
week.
what your guess is? Here, you want one?
I'm gonna pass.
I mean,
right
do you
now.
hear that? These things,
Randall
for
don't want
one.
none now.
I'm gonna pass right now. But I gotta get one, Scotty.
Do you like these? These are the nasty. These are what chunky 12-year-old Debbie would have eaten. At 12 years old, if I couldn't have found any other candy in the world
Yeah.
and a spoonful of sugar,
I want you to know-
I would have eaten one of these. But these are.
That's hard. That's kind
I
of gone.
want you to chew on that.
No, I'm
They're supposed to
okay.
be marshmallows, aren't they?
Yeah, they're real mushy normally.
Yeah.
They're gone. But there was a shortage. I don't know if y'all know this. There was a shortage of peppermint in Marion.
I was going to say
I went-
peanuts. I was going to say wonder why.
I went everywhere looking for my hard peppermint, and I like to never found it. I had to, and I got backup soft over there, but I don't like soft. So
And you didn't even buy the name brand.
no, because the cheap brand tastes better than the name brand.
Really?
That Bach, how do you pronounce that? Bach.
Brock.
Yeah. It
Is it
kind of makes
Brock?
me. It makes me
Brock
high as a Georgia pine. It's too rich. They put too much sugar in it.
My favorite that a lot of people don't like,
Yeah.
because I'm sure everybody's got a candy that they eat, but nobody else. Everybody says, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Are those orange slices? Just every
I
once in a
love
while,
it.
I'll buy me a bag and I'll sit in my car and I'll eat them until I don't want any more,
Well,
and then I throw them away.
That's why we've got the circus peanuts, because they were out of the orange slices, and I had to make to do with what was there of
Yeah.
a bad situation.
I would
Randall, how you
suggest
doing
that you
over
get rid
there?
of
Doing
those.
good, doing good. Glad to be here.
Look here, y'all. What is
I
coming?
know. Isn't that
Christmas?
nice?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, for the last 3-4 years, I've been driving along, and you come up to Marion, and there's cars everywhere, and you go, "What is going on?" And it's y'all's big event. Randall, tell us about what y'all got going on that y'all do every year for the kids.
Yeah, Scott, I really lost track of the years when it started, and I can tell you, it's something that event that started small. And while I got a minute on your show, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you.
Okay.
This started a long time ago for me as a young patrolman, well, not a rookie patrolman over in Marion, and I really didn't know what law enforcement was really about till I started going to people's homes and started going in there. And I can tell you a story that happened. I was looking for a young juvenile one day that actually had stolen some from somebody's home.
Uh-huh.
And my job the next day was, hey man, I'm going to find this juvenile, and we're going to get him to the juvenile authorities, and that's going to be it. And I know this story is leading up to my toy drive stuff. So, well, make a long story short. So when I get there to the apartment where he lived at, there was a young 5-year-old male there waiting on me. And, I asked him, said, hey, where's your brother at? And this was his words. He said, hey, man, my brother ain't here. I said, okay. And grant you, I did everything wrong this day, too.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, well, let me talk to your father. He said, I don't have a daddy. And then now I'm going like, now we playing the games now, and I'm going to go along with it. So finally, that didn't work. He said, I don't have one. I said, well, let me talk to your mom, and then we'll get this over with, because I know he's here or he's coming back home. And he said, you know what? My mom's not here. And I said, where's your mom at? And, he said, she's at work. Now, granted, I'm talking to a 5-6-year-old,
Yeah.
And I asked, said, this was like 4 o'clock. And I said, what time does she get off? He said, around about 11. Scotty right then and there let me know that, hey, this is why these guys are in trouble.
No
There was
family.
no family, no parent in there. And that light clicked on for me from that day on. I said, hey, you know what? I need to do things better. I need to do better as a patrolman in this community. Didn't know a lot about Marion. And then as that light clicked on, as we would go to calls, I would look at, see how people was living, and some people wasn't living good. And from there, that's what started the toy drive. So let's start doing something for Christmas. And it started out just marrying people. I can remember we would just set stuff up on a table about like this table here.
Right.
And it left in about an hour. Then we went to the vehicles the next year, just passed, and Scotty got bigger and bigger. Finally, till we started opening the doors to everyone. You can come through there now, you're going to see about 1,000 people wrapped around the building. And I tell you, what really got me on that was, and let me know that how this toy drive was important was about 2 years ago. It starts at 9, but I have people start showing up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Well, this particular morning, and I'm going like, hey, Ron, this is nothing to get nervous about. I get there about 6 o'clock, and Scotty, I go outside, and there's a car sitting out there with a lady and her kids, and I mean it's cold, and they're in there, and everybody's asleep. I'm going like, man, they don't start till 9. Let me go out here and address her. And I went to the car and I go, ma'am, look, I don't start till 9, So she said, listen, last year I didn't get my babies nothing. Wasn't able to get them nothing for Christmas. And I heard about this event, and I'm going to make sure that they get something this year. And I'm going like, okay. And I'm going to say to myself, there's no way I'm going to let them sit out in this cold. So I said, tell you what, let me go inside, get you a few items, put them in the trunk, and you can go about your business. If you want to come back later, that's fine. But Scotty, what really got me was when I went back to the back to open the trunk, Wayne County. I was going like, Wayne County? Like, what? So I go back to the window, and I asked her, I said, ma'am, where are you from? She said, Waynesboro.
Wow.
I said, so you drove all the way from Waynesboro to see me. You probably didn't have the gas money to come. So that just let me know how important this event is, and they come everywhere from West Alabama and everywhere. But when we open them doors, it's a different ballgame.
Now, how many kids do you think that y'all help out for Christmas with this every year?
Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's big.
Yeah, 1,000 to 1,500. We do that's at about 800 hot dogs. They all go quick, and then too, what people got to realize, this event goes on all week too, Scotty, because you got to think about these parents that get off at 5, the single parents that weren't able to make it because they was at work and the phone was still ringing. So you have to dedicate the whole week to this toy drive because people keep calling. Philadelphia, Mississippi. I said, come on, Kemper County. Bring it. You know what I mean? We turned nobody away that day.
I don't know if if you remember, David, back when we used to do this years ago with the Marion Police Department, the outpouring community help to help underprivileged children is just astronomical in our community.
One stands out in my mind as a girl that she had drug problems, and she had 3 children, and she got clean that year. And she didn't have very much money. She was just getting back on her feet. But she brought presents up to the radio station for those children. And she said, people helped my children when I was doing what I was doing. And now I got to give back. And she was struggling herself. And so that always stands out in my mind. But I have to ask you this. This is December the 17th. And do the kids, everybody brings presents? Is that when the presents are given to kids as well?
They are given to kids. Each kid can get one item. And we want to make sure, and and like I say, you have people waiting out in the cold 2 or 3 hours for one item.
Now, do you want people to bring a toy to the police department to give to this?
Absolutely.
Or is it cash you want, or either one?
Well, we have a foundation, Marion PD Foundation, so it could be cash. It could be toys. It could be whatever, because it all goes today. And because, like I said, from there we go to Walmart, and I want to thank people. Let me tell you something, Scotty. I don't care about going on air and saying this. A lot of people, they have this racial barrier about who does what and this and that and whatever. But I want to tell people this. I have people from all types that help me with this. And they don't say, hey, man, what color, who are you, or whatever. You know, I got a guy, and I got to bring him up because he's a big help to me, and that's Mr. Chris Crow of Magnolia Steel.
Good guy.
Mr. Crow never asked me, say, hey, Randal, what color, what are you doing it for? And, you know, that just tells you that, man, people do care. You know, sometimes people want to put that big picture out there that people are, you know, are racist, this and that. You know, you got people that's racist on both sides, you know what I mean? But I can tell you this, you got people that will help you on both sides and everything. And that's the people that we deal with and we like to deal with.
Absolutely.
I know Chris is always helping out with the community.
Is. Good fella. Y'all hang close. We'll be right back. We got more coming up as we begin our day here.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Honeysuckles on North Hill Street is bringing the Christmas cheer to you this year. And don't forget to order your Christmas centerpiece today. A great way to light up your table. They have hand-painted ornaments brought in from Poland, and they make great Christmas gifts and heirlooms. They carry the complete line of Satterfield pottery, and that's made in Oxford, Mississippi. And don't forget about the fresh wreaths and garlands that are available. Order yours now. Honeysuckles, 2626 North Hill Street. Gifts for the holiday season. And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
Yeah.
And our special guest, Police Chief of Marion, Mississippi.
Yeah, and, you know, Scotty, and you know, I'm here for the long haul. I do want to address somebody. You know, they said about the casinos in our town there in the Marion there. You know what I mean?
I didn't know y'all had
I didn't know
one.
you had casinos. I've seen the comments, but I don't know.
And you know, and I can tell them this. You know, whatever's going on in Marion, we do have contact with ABC and the Gaming Commission or whatever. But I want to tell her that, you know, hey, this is about the kids. You know what I mean? I know sometimes people can go in and they can find corrupt in other departments or whatever, but Marion don't run no corrupt department.
Right.
I'm all about helping kids and helping everybody. You know what I mean? And I would tell them I would love for them to meet me at my office and address it to me personally.
And what he's talking about, if you're not seeing it, the comment on Facebook is
right. Absolutely.
Somebody asking you about the casino and Marion. I thought,
I would want them.
Marion does not have a casino.
Yeah, I would want them to, and you know, people don't realize this. Whatever goes on in Marion, it goes in every city in this country. You know what I mean? You know, I don't like people just point out Marion or whatever. And I'm a Meridian. I actually live in Meridian also, and you know, but like I say, I like to address my citizen, whoever got something to say one-on-one with me. But I got open door policy. You know what I mean?
That is great because there are some offices that, aren't open.
No, I would be glad to. And tell them I will be there today, anytime.
Mm-hmm. Come on. That is good to know.
Yeah.
I invite you down if you want to talk with the chief more. And he is more than willing to take care of things.
Absolutely.
I want to bring this up, and it's a little bit off kilter from the kids, but I want to bring this up. It was almost a 2 or 3 week run there that it was almost at Marion. It was just so sad. As we come up on the holidays, I want to remind everybody to be careful. We had so many accidents on the bypass there in Marion. Didn't we lose a couple of lives or maybe 3 lives?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and Scotty, even directing traffic up there when you have an accident, it's crazy up there, you know. And thank God we got Mr. Ricky Simmons up there to help out with that, you know, because we have the bypass is right there near Simmons Record.
Right.
So yes, they had we had the one not too long ago with the log truck, you know, and that was a unfortunate accident, and you know, and again that lets you know, like what you said, these accidents can happen anywhere, and people need to be careful. And Scotty, I want to go back and harp on about what y'all was talking about over the holidays. People have a tendency to become lax. You know, when they get out, they go in the store. The first thing you notice, they got the cell phones in their hands, and they're not paying attention to what's going around their surroundings. And you know what, Scotty? Let me tell you something. One thing that I have learned. Sometimes we look at criminals and we think, oh man, they might be just thugs or whatever. But I have seen criminals could probably be Rhodes Scholars. You know what I mean? They get up in the morning just like me and you do, and they got a plan. They got a plan where they're looking for that older female or they looking for whatever. And you know, you see them riding in neighborhoods. That's why I always tell my guys, focus on patrol. You know what vehicles shouldn't be in the neighborhoods. And they looking for stuff to take every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have a plan in the morning.
Yeah.
They do. You know,
At Target.
now some of them don't. Some just fly by the seat of their pants. We know that.
But the good ones.
You ever see those people that, and I'm going to be honest with you, see these people that they were skilled tradesmen once in their life, could do everything. And guess what? The drug, got a hold to them. And now they just, every day they're just looking for a hustle, but they still got that skilled trade in them where they could do anything. I've seen people cut fences and cut things, and you're going like, how did he figure out how to do this? And like camera system, just break it just like that. These people are smart.
Yeah.
And people need to realize you need to be smart with them. Just like, I like what Ward Calhoun says. People are buy a 52-inch TV and then set the box right out in front of the road. Now the criminals say, you know what? There's a 52-inch in that house right now. And that's what they're looking for. They easy stuff to grab off the wall. And, of course, the firearms. The firearms are the number one thing that you don't want to get on the street, because now, just like what you said, how do the shootings go on? How do these people get these guns?
Right.
Well, a lot of them are stolen. I mean, when you see MPD or whoever on a traffic stop, hey, it's a stolen firearm involved in it also. And just because it don't come back stolen, don't mean it ain't stolen.
That's correct.
Because here's the thing, this guy that owns a gun camp that hadn't been there in 2 weeks, when he finally get there, he goes, oh man, all my guns game, but they sold them that day. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be really careful how you handle business with firearms.
Absolutely.
Just like a car I saw. I know it was stolen. Got the VIN number. Police came.
Yeah.
Said it had not been reported stolen, but we knew it was stolen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
There's things.
And Scotty, just like, we were saying, the crime is going to, even over in Marion, like sometimes we have had times where we had a car sitting over in the apartments. Guess what? Stolen out of Hattiesburg, stolen out of here. They'll get these cars and they'll just dump them anywhere. And we have had a good working relationship with NBI, the motor theft unit. It was strange that we had a training class with them a week prior to this. And we was in the office, the next thing you know, say, hey man, we got a stolen car coming through Marion right now. Where's your guy? And luckily he wasn't far away.
Yeah.
Man, and it was like pandemonium. Oh wow, what we do. And because this was our first time dealing with a stolen car that they had pinged and they had been looking for years. Finally, we got the vehicle stopped there at the Texaco there. And man, the thing is, the car had been stolen out of Memphis from one of the rental centers there, Avis or whatever. But like I said, it's a lot of theft going on.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
a
man.
lot of it.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute and talk about our friends over at the Farm Supply. Boy, they hard at it today. They've shown up today. They've got a lot going on. As we get ready for Christmas, deer season is officially underway. If you need anything to take care of your deer, drop in and visit with them. They'll show you all around with all the different supplies and blocks. And if you need corn, it's everywhere. Boy, we've done a lot of corn there.
Giving away a lot of corn from there. Yeah.
See them. It's easy to find. Exit 151 off the interstate. From blinds to anything Christmassy. If you're looking for a gift, they've got that there in the gift shop. Drop in. Easy to spot. You'll see them. It all happens there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Good folks do that. And coming up in just a moment, we're going to be talking about what happened on this day in history. A little test for Randal and a
favorite part.
little test for each of y'all.
Come on, Scotty.
Hey, I just have to say real quick, I just saw in the Lauderdale County Farm Supply the Carolyn's cheese straws.
Yeah.
I actually got to have dinner with her the other night, and everybody had to bring a dish.
Yeah.
You know what she brought?
What'd she bring? Cheese did.
A box of cheese straws this big. That was her contribution. It was good.
Good girl. I like that stuff. It was good. I ate yours.
Yeah.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie as we start looking around at a few things. And again, this is going to be a test, and we're going to put Randal to the test, make sure he knows all this history as well. 1859, that's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
You would have probably been after this guy. Yeah. This guy had a birthday today. He's probably one of the very first outside of Jesse James that you're going to recognize of, oh, today is Billy the Kid's birthday. He was born in 1859.
That's crazy. Who took the photo?
Now, what's interesting about that, there's two photos, and for years, it was just thought that was it. And a guy's at a garage sale, and he starts looking at this picture, and he pays $10 for it. And he is convinced that it's Billy the Kid. Fortunately, a lady that knew Billy the Kid kept a diary. It takes him 10 years to track it down, but the picture was of Billy the Kid playing croquet at a birthday party. The picture ended up being worth like $5 million. Wow. And he proved it.
So a couple of months ago, one of my cousins gave me a picture of my grandfather, who was born in 1899, who I loved dearly. He died in the early 90s.
Was it with Mae West or anything?
No, riding a bicycle.
Really?
I think I sent it to you and showed it to
you did.
He was riding a bicycle, I guess, about 1916.
Wow. You had it going on. Have you a bicycle in 1916? Yeah. It was only, it's hard to come by.
It was a big old bicycle.
As we talk about Westerns, this next guy, the name you're not going to know.
No.
But if you've ever sat down in front of a TV and watched a Western, you'll recognize this guy's face. John Diner was born on this day. Do you remember him from all these Westerns?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a lot of Westerns.
Again, the name you'll never know. A few other things. For the very first time on this date, 1936, I wouldn't thought of or heard of. My dad was 3 years old. This was the first time it was publicized as it hit store shelves. Life.
It was a big deal through my entire life until, I guess, I don't even know if it's still.
I don't see it anymore.
But everybody got Life magazine.
Yeah, it was how you saw the outside world.
That and TV Guide.
This is probably one of the things that led Randal to become a police officer. Was sitting back watching this TV show. I think it was Friday nights that it originally came on. Anybody remember the show Barney Miller?
Watched it all the time.
Oh, yeah. I remember Barney Miller.
Steve Landsberg was born on this date. He was the detective on there. It was a funny show.
Oh, yeah.
Always brought about a smile.
Oh, yeah.
1968, it would make Hillary mad years later, but it would become a #1 song. She did stand by her man through it all. It was bad until he divorced her and left her.
I just watched Hillary do that little speech. Oh, it was an interview with Oprah, maybe.
It was.
And she said, "I'm not a stand by your man kind of woman. I don't bake cookies." Blah, blah, blah.
Of course, that being Tammy's big song that made her a household name. And then, of course, the song when her and George divorced would come out of Let Me Lean On You Till I Can Make It On My Own.
Oh, that's a good song. Good song.
Rip your heart out there. 1976, someone rang the gate and said, "I want to come in." The guy at the gate in Graceland said, "You ain't coming in." He goes, "I am. I'm going to drive my Rolls Royce through the gate if you don't let me in." Police were called, and a few minutes later, Jerry Lee was arrested and taken away from Graceland. He just wanted to visit with Elvis for a few minutes.
That's it.
One time, Scotty Ray and I pulled up at George Jones' house.
Yeah, we did.
And right outside of Nashville, and rang his doorbell. his gate bell.
Yep.
And kept ringing it until somebody did answer.
They did talk to us.
They told us to leave.
They said, "Go away." 1985. Anybody remember the TV show Who's the Boss?
Oh, yeah.
It was on the cover of TV Guide way long ago. This would be about the year that Back to the Future would hit movie theaters. That's been a while.
That was a time period of Power Shoulder. The pads, remember everybody?
It was. Did you ever catch, any of y'all ever catch yourself singing the song, the Wabash Cannonball? I think y'all
Not
noticed.
lately.
Not lately? Not a song that you humming it.
What did Roy Acuff do in
the Wabash Cannonball was his big one there.
No, but what did he do? Dias.
Yeah, something happened there. Didn't it?
At 89.
Where were you when we were checking spelling and errors this morning?
I was getting ready.
You were late. Yeah, he passed away on this date back in 92. The great Roy Acuff. This was
the shocker of my life.
It was
Miley Cyrus,
because it was so wholesome. while she was there on that TV show. And then the next thing you know, she's naked and running around doing kinky things.
It's not even that. It's just, I can't believe Billy Ray was such a one-hit wonder type man who wanted to make it big in the industry.
Yeah.
And then his daughter is uber famous. I mean, she is very famous.
No, she's very famous, but
And he has to ride off of her coattails now.
But she was so famous there on that TV show of that. What was that? Where she was on Disney, and she was so wholesome.
Well,
and
they
then the
all
next
were. So was
thing you
Britney
know,
Spears, and so was everybody. Justin Timberlake.
We
All of
met
them.
this guy at the Neshoba County Fair for the very first time I ever run into him. But I can remember riding around Scuba, Mississippi on a Saturday night thinking, yeah, I think the world does fall off at the edge of town. Hal Ketchum passed away on this date back in 2020 at the age of 67.
He's young.
He was. I liked Ohio, though. He was a good guy. We would lose one of the greatest actors that had several acting careers. Of course, you'd know him as Major Nelson the first time. He had this hot chick he kept in a bottle. Then he'd have Sue Ellen on the other arm years later. Larry Hagman passed away on this date back in 2012 at 81. JR. He would never surpass that role.
That was 10 years ago when he passed away. That was a big deal when he passed away.
It was.
Because he was, yeah.
Gosh, I liked
Dallas
it.
was the biggest.
So were you a Bobby, or were you more him, or did you go for the Ray Krebs thing? Meet your uncle and daddy.
I can't really. I don't know.
You know,
I never liked Bobby. I can tell you that. He just wasn't
as
my
Jock
kind of
always
guy.
told him, you're the, well, I can't use that word. on
I probably
television.
like Jock better. Whatever his name.
But do y'all
old
remember
man.
when the show first started where Ray Krebs was having an affair with Lucy?
Yeah.
And then years later you find out that's really
his
her
daughter or whatever. Wait a minute.
That was his niece.
Yeah, his niece. That was gross. It was his niece. The whole thing. And then they had the spinoff. What was the spinoff?
Knots Landing.
Yes. I love Knots Landing. I can't
And
remember
then it
much
had
about
the other brother, Gary, who really who wouldn't stand up to his daddy for nothing. And JR just basically whooped him.
And who shot JR?
Yep. You know, that happened.
That was the biggest campaign.
It was smart.
It was very smart.
It was.
Huge.
We got a bunch more coming up. We're going to talk with Randal some more. We're going to talk about some more crime that's gone on in the area. Y'all don't rush off. It's that time again. Christmas open house at Hickory Pickin' and the Red Goat General Store. It all happens November the 26th from 9 in the morning until 5 that afternoon. If you're looking for yard decorations or stockings, anything Christmas, they have it for you. And one of my favorites, samples and refreshments, sales throughout the store, and Christmas music playing to get you in the holiday spirit. It's the annual Christmas open house at Hickory Pickin' and the Red Goat General Store. Exit 115 in Hickory.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Time to stop spending your entire weekend mowing grass. Step up to a Skag zero-turn lawnmower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Out at Chet's Paint and Body, they're already at work this morning taking care of cars. It may have been an fender bender or two. It happens all over town. Y'all see it. I report a lot of them. Well, Chet's there to take care of it. Put your car back together, kind of like that Humpty Dumpty thing. They get scratches, they get dents, they lose bumpers, and he puts it back and color matches it the way it ought to look. A car costs absolutely way too much money to have something that doesn't look right. Talk to Chet. They'll fix it for you. They got a great staff that's been doing business there for a long time. In the Curve on Highway 495, you can't miss them. Drop in and see Chet. And a big happy Thanksgiving from his family to your family. Chet's Paint and Body. Now, they're going to be closed tomorrow for Thanksgiving. They'll be doing business again come Monday. Drop in and visit with them. You'll be glad you did. They're good folks there.
Speaking of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Let's
The age-old question.
What is it?
Giblets or giblets? How do you say it? Is it giblet gravy or giblet gravy?
Giblet is what
How do
I've
you say
always. Giblet. Give me some of that giblet
I
gravy.
can never remember.
But what's
I don't
proper,
know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what's proper.
Something to think on there.
Miss Anita,
It's neither.
Is it pecans or pecans?
Oh, it's pecans.
Yeah, pecans. And then if you live...
Pecans are if you're somewhere fancy.
Yeah. It's kind of like the folks that used to... If you live in Marion, your name is Kynard or Kennard.
Yeah, that's correct.
And like you were talking about the other day.
That's correct.
My last name is Farrar, but here
It's
spelled
Farrar.
exactly
Yeah,
the same
you're
way.
right.
It's Farrah.
And it just depends upon where your house sits as to what you're called.
Absolutely.
That's just life. Hey, let's go to Philadelphia. They got an issue going on in Philadelphia now. And, of course, we always talk to the chief up there to find out what's going on. He's posted they got a situation going on. Let's find them. Here we go. These folks went in and ate somewhere and walked out without
Look
paying.
at all those plates. I hope somebody went to the bathroom and left some of that. Look at
that.
It's got like...
Oh, yeah.
I think
looks like when Debbie goes to a buffet.
Debbie, did they have a brewski? I think that's a brewski
They
sitting on the
ordered
table.
beer.
Well, if you
And
happen
then
to
they
know who
walked
that
out.
is, walked out, didn't pay.
It's called Dine and Dash.
Yeah, and then you got a waitress there that didn't make her nightly pay that helps feed her kids. It's a lot went on there.
Yeah.
The police looking for them, so if you happen to bump into them somewhere on the street, do so. We've shared that. Now, this morning, we told you about the burglary that happened over at the T-Mobile store. Yesterday morning, this is what we were looking at. The Sonic got broke into yesterday morning. And what they do is two fellows broke in, and they were last seen, as I joked about it this morning. If you were happened to go to work yesterday morning and you saw somebody walking down North Hill Street carrying a safe, they're it. Call the cops. Now, no word yet if Naked Man saw him.
Yeah.
He's usually making a run about then, but I don't know if he saw him either.
So they stole the safe.
They ripped it right out the wall, and off they went.
I mean, how big is the safe? Aren't they pretty heavy?
He's pretty stout, is what I got to say.
Yeah.
He's pretty stout.
Could you imagine running down the street with a safe?
Debbie, slow down.
And then how do you get into it?
Yeah, that's
blow it up.
Yeah, I guess a torch.
Dynamite.
Do it that way. We'll have to.
So nowadays, businesses don't carry very much money.
No, because it's cards.
It's all cards. Back, like in the 80s, it was all cash. Nobody had credit cards. But now it's all credit card.
Listen, we had a fender bender in the parking lot of Wally World yesterday. This happens, and I show this picture for one reason only. As you're doing your shopping, because a lot of times you'll put it in drive and drive off, and you're not paying as much attention in the parking lot as you do on the highway. This can happen. Boom, Walmart 19.
I almost hit your car. I'm not lying. I pulled up behind Scotty Ray's car this morning, and I was getting something, and I thought I put my car in park. And my car started rolling. I was trying to get my foot on the brake real quick.
Oh, my.
Do you know what the worst thing happened to me in the last 4 or 5 years?
I would have hit and run, though.
I had somebody bring me their car, and I put brakes on it. And I left it in my shop. And at the end of it, I said, well, I'll pump the brakes and bleed the lines later. Well, a week later, I thought, well, I need to move that. And I cranked that sucker up and put it in gear, and it commenced to rolling, and I couldn't stop it. And I caught the emergency brake that much before it took out my caddy.
Ooh, that would have been.
It was a close one, as Earl Thomas Conley once saying. Now, we also got us an issue that happened down in Clarke County that we want to bring up. These are crimes that are pretty bad. There's no other way to word this. We go down there, and they have been caught. They went over to Newton County, and Jody got some handcuffs and transported them back to Clarke County. As we look at this story, they put out the bolo yesterday that they were looking for Bobby J. Armstrong. And again, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. We only go by what we're told by police, and they were looking for him over a child molestation charge.
A lot of charges.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's horrible.
I want to say it was like 8 or 9 charges or something.
It's a bunch. And a lot of families and lives get affected. But you've dealt with these in your career. You know what goes on with that.
And speaking of what you were saying earlier about going into homes and seeing how people actually do live, and a lot of times they're hardworking.
Yeah,
they just can't catch a break.
Absolutely.
And moms are out there working hard, dads are out there working hard, but barely paying the bills. And not that you have to have Christmas presents, but it sure is nice
for kids
to be able to give something to a child for Christmas.
I actually feel like sometimes when that happens, and when the kids and they get discouraged. They get discouraged quickly, and then that's when things start happening. And like I said, that's one of the reasons we want to present this toy drive. Let people know that we do care, and like I say, the difference, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing no other organization, United Way, but we actually deal with these people one-on-one that whole day. They get to see us. They get to talk to us. You got that mom that say, hey, I need you to make him go get a haircut. Make him do this. And we pull up to the side and say, hey, man, your mom said you need to go get a haircut. And we're going to get this done for you that day. Have somebody there that'll help us. And that's the whole beauty of having a drive like that because, and actually, Scott, last year, I know I had the COVID. I got sick. I was sick the next day because I talked to so many people, hugged on so many kids. I was sick because I don't know what the next day. But you know what? It was worth it for me to actually to do that. You know what I mean?
Now, if you're watching us either on the internet, on any of the social media platforms, or on TV, how do we help you? What do we do to help out with these kids? Where do we go about doing this?
Well, you know, you can obviously you're gonna get toys and you can bring them to the Marion Town Hall, or you know, donate some money to Marion PD Foundation. Because after I leave here, I'm going to meet with Brother Brian at Walmart, the manager. And I want to thank Walmart on Highway 19 North. They have really
he is a good guy,
me out. Great guy, and I want to thank them for everything they've done for me. And you know, we got 5 and Low and Olive, but we go everywhere to make this happen. We got to Union at Naval Air Station because we're gonna give out a bunch of hams and turkeys, but we do that to the elderly. We go to the nursing home today, and I'm telling you, it's really a big day that day. But you know, just to take care of that many people, that magnitude.
Well, we're going to send them that way. Hang on, we'll be right back with more coming up in a moment. Here with Scotty Ray and Debbie as we travel along on a Wednesday. It's flying. Yeah, we'll be right back. The Square Peg Mini Mall is located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia. And they're getting ready for the Christmas season with a large variety of furniture and over 30 vendors to browse through. You can take advantage of the layaway on furniture and not pick it up until Christmas Eve. The inventory is constantly updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Family owned and operated, where they treat you like family. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall located at 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel. As we talk about our friends at Maples One Stop Shop, there's one thing for sure that you're going to need, and that's called that stuff gasoline. They try to pass it along at the cheapest price available anywhere in town, and absolutely the cleanest stores. If you doubt me, walk in and check any of these places. They are clean. If you want breakfast this morning out in Causeyville, they're holding court right now. Come in and get your biscuit. A lot of folks sitting around eating this morning, and you can do that over at 31st Chevron as well. They've got lunch coming up. You can get meat, 2 vegetables, a cold thing of iced tea for $8.99. It's a bargain. See them. They've got a lot to choose from there. Loyalty coffee program, cold drinks, candy bars, chips, pizza, and it just keeps going. Maybe you need a lottery ticket to win the big time. See them. It's all there at Maples. Pine Springs, Bonita, Causeyville, even over to 31st, Broadmoor Chevron, and Last Chance Tobacco. Visit with them. Boy, we've had a big time this morning.
You made me hungry talking about that food.
I know.
Scotty Ray and I both decided we need to go on diets. I personally have started doing that. What do you call it? Where I can only eat 8 hours a day, and then I have to stop.
No, I've never been on a diet before.
Intermittent fasting. I'm doing intermittent fasting,
it's
but
like wipers.
I'm literally so I only get to eat from 11 until 7. Right. I wait from 10 until 11. That's all I think about is eating until I get my meal. Until I get to eat at 11.
Tell us a little bit more about your kids program. I know there's a lot of people that want to help you and help the kids itself. So that's coming up, right?
On the 17th.
On the 17th.
Yeah. What time does it kick off at?
It's going to start at 9 o'clock, but I know people will be out there at actually 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And we're going to have a lot of people there to help ROTC, officers, but like I say, it's going to be an event where we really going to expect a large crowd and like to hope to help a lot of people that day.
And so that's going to be December the 17th.
December 17th at the Shriners, starting at 9 o'clock in the
Somebody
morning.
from Hamasa Shriners posted on there a minute ago, said they were helping out. And
yes, ma'am. Hamasa Shriners has been really good to us. And like I said, we also going to be doing food, refreshments for them, coffee, the works. And then we're going to raffle off a lot of things to families, such as vacuum cleaners. We're going to basketball goals, household. And that's free. It's going to be a free raffle. Sure is.
That's great.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
Can't beat that.
Barbecue grills. We got grills. Everybody. We're going to be family orientated on this too.
That is great.
Oh yeah.
We can't thank you enough for coming in and spending a little time.
Scotty, I want to tell you, I want to thank you what you do for the community also, and you've been a tremendous help to us, all of us. I want to tell you that also.
We appreciate that.
Really. And I ain't gonna say nothing about Chris Reed yet. You know what I mean? I was gonna bring a basketball in for him and leave it for him for you, Scotty. But I give it to him personally, and he know what it's for too. Okay?
I do. I want to say happy birthday to Cal Sheehan, who had a birthday. I bumped into him yesterday while I was out and about in town.
Yeah.
Hope it's a wonderful birthday. Thank you for coming in and filling in today.
Yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody because I won't be here tomorrow.
I hate that the door's open if you want to come back.
I've got to start cooking.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a lot of cooking to do.
There's so much going on. Don't forget the holidays are going. Be careful. We got a lot of rain moving in after Thanksgiving lunch. It's going to be good up until lunch. And then that afternoon, we're going to start seeing showers move in. And through Saturday, we could see as much as 4 inches of rain. So with that comes a lot of traffic, a lot of wrecks. We want you to be safe where you're going. And as always, if there's bad weather in any shape, form, or way, we will go live to carry you through each and every step along the way here with the weather department.
It's a lot of fun.
All right. Debbie, thank you. And God bless everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning beginning at 8 a.m. right here.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: